Good morning, everybody. How are you going? Clue 3, Mystery Knit Along. How did you get on? I will admit I'm not finished. And I'll also say there will be spoilers. I'll be talking about Clue 3 and also showing you where I'm up to. But first, what am I wearing? This is my Lycoris, which is a pattern I actually designed. It's knit. I've knit this one in the West Yorkshire Spinners. I think it's called Exquisite, which is the wool silk mix. So it's fairly drapey. I've done it in, I've knit this before in like a sock yarn. I've done it in cotton, which I really liked, although I picked too big a size. I think this one might be a little bit big as well. But yeah, anyway, so that's one I designed, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, maybe longer. And I've recently reduced the price of all my patterns on Ravelry. So I think this one's down to like $5 Australian, which is probably about $3 US, I think. Anyway, on to the MusiKAL. How are you going with it? I have made lots of silly mistakes in this MusiKAL, and it's all counting errors. And I think because I'm just trying to keep up with the clue each week, I'm just knitting it way too long, like knitting it, you know, late at night. And anyway, so where I'm up to with Clue 3 is here. So I've done section 3 of Clue 3, and I'm thinking now that that's the top of the shawl. It's just going to be a big crescent shawl. A bit hard to show. I've got those on one of those cords to hold the live stitches. So my next step is to get those back on the needle, because that's where we'll be working section 4 from. Yeah, so I was making silly errors with these triangles. I think I'd started doing the wrong side directions on the right side and silly things like that. But we got there. I got section 3 done. I'm actually quite happy with it. I like the way it looks. Another error I found, didn't find it till I was picking up stitches along here for section 3. It must be in this one here, this scallop here. I hadn't done enough of the brioche rows, so I was a couple short, so I just had to sort of cram those pickup stitches in there. I think it'll be okay when it blocks out. But yeah, I was 2 rows. Instead of having 8 of the brioche bees stitches, I only had 6. So, but anyway, so it'll be interesting when I transfer these stitches onto a needle to see whether I've got the correct stitch count or not. I hope so. But like Stephen says, just add a stitch, decrease a stitch, it'll be all good. Yeah, so I quite like the graphic nature of this. I think maybe because of the colours I've chosen, and with the black, I'm really happy with that. I know I was listening to Nadine on Happy Hands Knitting podcast. I think that's what it's called. I'll put a link in the description. She wasn't happy with the way, when she looked at Clue 3, she didn't like this part of it. I think she's going on with section 4 as per the pattern, but I'm not sure. But she worked out something completely different for this section, and it looks fantastic. So yeah, go and check her out. She's another Australian YouTuber who lives not far from me. I'm yet to meet her, but she's probably only an hour or so up the road. Yeah, what she's done for this section is really good, and she does a lot of her own sort of patterns, not to publish, but she'll just have a yarn and say, okay, I want to make this into a whatever. Or she's got a couple of daughters that'll come to her and say, Mum, can you make me this? Like they've seen something on Pinterest or TikTok or whatever, and she works out the pattern. So she's pretty good at figuring stuff out and just making up her own thing. So I'd suggest you go and watch her podcast if you don't already, but especially go and have a look and see what she's done with this section 3. So yeah, Hopefully I can get section 4 done. I have had a look. I'm not sure how involved it's going to be. I've got to pop out later, well, after this today, but then I'll get back onto section 4 and get a start. So it's Monday, it's about midday on Monday. So I've got 3.5 days of knitting, but I've got a couple of things in there, so it's probably going to be more like two days at the most knitting, but yeah, we'll see how we go. But I was glad to get that actual section done, and I've nearly got all the ends woven in except for that last strip that I finished last night. So I don't do the weave and steven. I don't actually like it. I'll do it for the first couple of stitches just to hold my yarn in place, and then when I come back to weaving the ends, I actually undo the weave and steven part, and I'll weave in more like I guess it's more like what's it called, duplicate stitch, where you're following the line of the stitching, but I'll do it on the reverse side, of course. Yeah, I just find the weave and steven, it tends to sort of work loose a bit and look a bit sloppy. So yeah, I don't do it. I mean, it's extra work, but I'd rather do it this way. So yeah, and I'm not sure how many yarn ends are going to be involved with section 4, but I guess I'll see what's happening with that. So yeah, quite happy with how that's looking. I don't know whether, yeah, I don't know when I'll pop back in, probably in another week to let you know how I'm going. By then section 4 will be, clue 4 will be out. I doubt I will be finished next time I chat to you, but hopefully I'll be finished at clue 3 and I can share my thoughts about clue 4. The other thing I've done today is I've just warped up I call it my baby loom. It's my little 30cm knitter's loom. So I'll just show you. I just wanted to change. I just wanted to give my hands a rest, because I found that because I was knitting so much every day, my fingers were starting to ache. So I just thought, okay, I'm not going to do any this morning until after I do this video. But I thought I'd get my little loom warped up. So I've got some weaving happening on there. The plan is it's going to be the white is a cotton, 100% cotton. It's a recycled cotton that I got from, I think it's called Unwound Yarn on Etsy. I don't know whether they're still operating or not. Like, they have some stuff in stock in their shop, but what they would do was to get old jumpers or cardigans, tops, whatever, and reclaim the yarn. So that's 100% recycled cotton. And then I've just popped in different pink to purples of different textures that I had in my stash. And the idea is it will be mostly the white recycled cotton with just little blips of the other colours going through it. So hopefully that'll be finished next week. I do have a exhibition and market coming up at the end of the month. So I've been doing a few little quick things for that in between. But yeah, this is my main focus this month, to get that done. Let me know down below how you're going. Whether you got clue 3 done or whether you're at a similar place to what I am, and what your thoughts are so far. I'm actually quite liking it, and yeah, I'll chat to you in about a week. Okay, bye.